Hello everyone, it's Millie, and when it comes to school, I feel like our parents don't understand how stressful it can be sometimes, not only with friends but with exams as well, because I have exams every year in school at the end of every year, like big exams, and other than that, we have exams I would say on average once a week possibly, depending on each subject, because we have an end of topic subject test as well. And we have fake GCSEs, kind of like mock GCSEs in around 4 weeks, and I'm on holiday for 2 of those weeks, which means I have 2 weeks to revise for about 11 subjects. So I'm going to talk you through the techniques that I use and hopefully they'll help you too, and if they do help you, please give this video a thumbs up to let me know that it helped and also to help others find this video as well. The first one I have for you is one of my favourites, and it's to act like you are teaching what you have learned. So in every subject, it's split up into topics. So for example, I am obsessed with space. Absolutely obsessed with it. The universe. I revise that out of my own world. I actually found this out from a video on ASAP Science that a test was carried out where half of the participants were made to believe that they were learning it, and then the other half were made to believe that they were teaching it, and those that believed they were teaching it got A's, and those that believed they were learning it, just learning it and not teaching it, got B's and C's, which is like a lot lower obviously. So I thought that was really interesting. Definitely give that one a go if you want the information to go in, 100%. Right.
Oh no, Millie, I'll go for it.
No, Mum, it's fine. I can edit it.
You have to, know that.
Right. I've got my mum here with me now because she's a teacher, so she knows most about revising probably. Do you have any tips maybe on revising? What to do?
Just keep at it.
That's
Every night.
terrible advice.
I know.
Just think of one piece of advice out to revision that is useful. You can have thinking time if you want.
Thinking time, the best piece of advice is to get plenty of sleep, and then when you are revising, you are fresh.
So revise in the morning, or
Not necessarily, just make sure that you're not overtired at any time and falling asleep. That means early nights.
is there any techniques? Look at the camera, by the way. Is there any techniques that you is there any techniques that you recommend? Personally, like I just said, flashcards are probably the best.
Flashcards are good.
What do kids normally find the best way to revise is?
Flashcards, repetition.
Just like going over it again and again instead of just making notes and forgetting about them.
Yeah, highlight what you know that you know, so you don't have to do it again.
Oh yeah.
Don't
I've done
relearn
that.
what you know because you already know it, and you're wasting time you could be spending on something else.
That's good advice. But flashcards are the main piece of advice I have for you. Okay. Thanks, Mum. Love you. And also just experiment on different ways to learn that work for you. So maybe try revising and putting everything you learned in a PowerPoint or a Word document, writing an essay on it, whatever might work for you. Experiment, do voice recordings and listen to it, put it in a song. There are so many different revision techniques. I'll read through all my notes and then I'll put the notes into questions on an app called flashcards. I'll ask myself a question on it. So for example, what is the kinetic theory? And then I'll put the answer, and when I come to revise it, I'll see the question, I can tap it, the card will flip over, and I'll have the question on one side and the answer on another. So I can look at the question, answer it, and then flip it over to see if I got it right. My next piece of advice is something that I definitely do, and this is to use past papers or past questions found online. If you're doing GCSEs, which is mainly in the UK I think, then you can use the website AQA and you can find basically every past paper of every subject that they've done in the past 7 years or so. If you're in America, I'm sure there are websites that will give you past papers of SATs that you might have coming up, and these are a really good way to familiarise yourself with what the questions might ask and how they are asked. Research how the questions are asked. For example, if a question might say, suggest how this is effective, then it doesn't mean use your knowledge from what you have revised. It usually means that the answer is somewhere in the question and you just need to use common sense to find it. Again, if there is a 2-mark question, that means 2 points, and if it's an 8-mark question, it probably requires an introduction to get up to the higher levels. If you want to guarantee that you won't fail, use a mark specification. So this here is my biology, unit 1 that I've had to learn, and it's pretty big. Like, you probably won't be able to see it very well, But all of these are like little things that I have to learn, and there are pages and pages and pages. This booklet alone is Unit 1 and we have about 3 units we've got to get through. So it's a lot of work, but a mark specification, if you follow that and research everything online, is a certain way of making sure that you won't fail. This next one is more of the unconventional ones, and I find that it helps so much. So if you haven't got exams coming up quite yet and you still have lesson time in school, use the middle page in your book to jot down the main things you need to know for that subject. That might not make sense, but it will in a second. For example, in Spanish, the main thing you need to know are vocab and good phrases to use. So I might put in the middle page, me gustaría, and that would be, I would like to. And just little phrases like that, and obviously vocab, so anything that might be helpful. For example, la manzana, and then I put apple. So the translation to English, in history, you would use the middle page to put down dates. That is everything for today's video. I hope that you do amazing in your exams and that your revision goes very smoothly, which it probably won't, because revision, I just always get sidetracked. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget to stay positive, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video and you will stick around by subscribing. Bye guys.